All right, so I'm not making a very complicated video here. I've been playing around with some Kdenlive, Live, but sometimes it's better just to vent. I keep seeing some shit about Doga. Now, first of all, I'm pronouncing it Doga because everybody is incorrect when they say Doge. First of all, it's not a French pronunciation. The original meme of the Shiba Inu being a Japanese dog implies that correct pronunciation is Doga because it's two Japanese phonemes, Do and Ga, is naturally, when you say the word dog, D-O-G, G, it's a hard G. Therefore, you say the Department of Government Efficiency implies that the acronym should be also pronounced Do-Ga. And yet, everybody in the mainstream media, everybody in the government is referring to it by an incorrect pronunciation. I don't care if the creator of the coin themselves said one thing. Let's operate with basic logic here. Is it GIF or is it GIF? This is a really important question. You know why? Because it's about logical consistency. I mean, people typically say that English is a difficult language to learn in comparison to a lot of the other languages of the world. However, certain rules follow due to logic. And while it is impressive the amount of corruption that is being unraveled and uncovered in the government as a result of the efforts of this newly formed thing that is operating in the capacity of a, for lack of a better term, department, even though it's technically not an official department, still has a .gov website. And apparently this .gov website sits behind Cloudflare. And apparently this website also is hosted on vultr, which is a provider that I have used for a long time. I haven't used them in a while since I swapped to DigitalOcean. Shout outs to DigitalOcean. By the way, I've still got those credits that, they just give out for free if you want some. Like $200. Have at it. Go hog wild. Build your own Department of Government Efficiency website. It's a great idea and a valuable use of your time. One of my problems, besides the incorrect pronunciation of this Doga, right, is the fact that Elon Musk is a fake gamer. And that, while he didn't outright try to, the big nuance in his argument regarding Path of Exile 2 is that he never once said that he leveled the character himself. This is besides the point. Like, you're going to try and fucking split hairs with me on that shit? I'm going to come at you sideways. Here's how. Dudes be like, the government picked you up as a result of hanging out with Trump and shit, right? And you get to this point as a result of years upon years of just fucking around and finding out And you get to a point, dude be like, do you know how privileged you have to be to pay someone to level your character? Real gamers out here grinding hard every fucking day to get that max cap on whatever game it is that they're playing. The older you get, the more life hits you, the less time you have for these things. I've always thought to myself that I don't want to get to a point where I no longer have time for games, because this is a measure of age. You no longer have time for games. You're getting old. That's a bad thing. So always make time for games. And when you're as busy as Elon Musk, you probably don't have much time for games. So you pay people to play the game for you. But I don't think this is a good precedent to set, especially in terms of immediately afterwards swinging into the good graces and deciding to enact this Doga, which had been a meme for a while running in, now is becoming a real thing. While real corruption is being rooted, found out, I think it's important to keep in the background exactly what I'm saying. Elon Musk is a fake gamer. He's created a fake government website that was apparently hacked pretty badly, like security flaws out the yin yang. You talk about government efficiency, and your website's getting hacked. I actually did fedramp fucking auditing, right? Like, there's really thorough, detailed documentations on exactly the kinds of what they describe as, and going in, when I learned this shit, it's like I didn't know terms like security controls and stuff like that, because from my perspective, it's correct implementation of code, right? Like, if you do things right the first time, you never run into these problems. And a lot of reason that these companies and governments and etc. keep running into these problems is that they're literally running into them. They're not walking. They're not slowing down. They're not taking the time to get the basics up. They're just slapping together shit in a way that's assumed to be correct, that has largely not been audited. This has been a problem in the tech world for a long time. And I think it's a really good time, especially in this era when all of our shit is being used to train these AIs and these LLMs and shit. I think it's a really good time for us to slow down and examine our preconceptions, our assumptions about how things work to begin with, and what is or isn't the best or proper way to build applications on the web. Because for a long time, it was kind of like a war between native app development and web development, right? And as we have progressed down this timeline, it's very clear that web dev has beaten the ever loving hell out of native app dev, right? So web dev having been the way forward, we have this explosion of different frameworks all fucking trying to do the same shit in different ways that expose different problems, requiring different ways of thinking. So it makes it very difficult to jump between one framework and another. What are we doing here? We're only making the attack surface bigger. We're only overcomplicating the development process. Things don't need to be this hard. what says that a website for Doga couldn't be something more than a static text page that one person has update access to over like FTP or SSH? Like, why? Why create these problems? What are we doing here? I got real questions. I want real answers. I want to know where my money is going. And I want to know exactly what, because what we're being given now is fucking illusion. What we're being given now is wool being pulled over our eyes. We are not being given the truth. We are not being given what we voted for. The website itself even says the people voted for government reform, I believe. The people voted for major reform. Yeah, well, guess what? The people also voted for competence. Why is it that we keep elevating these fucking know-nothings into positions of power? Because of media personality flair? Because of culture personality? Where's it all going? What's the end game? 4 years from now, whoever's next in office. The end game that they advertise is easier life, lower cost of goods, safer country, being able to go outside without fear, having the confidence that you can go to sleep at night not having to worry about paying for basic necessities, or that a medical emergency isn't going to immediately financially cripple your family. Or that a website claiming to be, but the website of the Department of Government Efficiency, which isn't even a real department. As I'm going to bed, seeing that it's gotten hacked. It hasn't even been up that long. It's like, what is there to hack? What could have possibly have been so important as to like the most that should have been hosted is a fucking plain text file on a GitHub page that one person has write access to. And then you would have to social engineer that person or somehow hijack their fucking GitHub access token, right? Like, that would have been so much more efficient because GitHub Pages is free, right? And I should know because X blocked my website, evildojo.com, as a result of all that stupid GitHub drama that occurred last, October, November of last year. GitHub Pages is free. That's one reason I like it. I don't have to fucking host my own shit anymore. I can just generate my pages statically locally and then sync them to my repo. And magically, my shit's updated. The only thing I really pay for is my domain name. The only time I ever pay for VPSs is for IRC boxes and fucking bug bounty shit. So I feel like my setup's pretty efficient. I'm not even running that much shit, and I'm like, got pretty good capacity. If I ever need more shit, I just spin up another box. Like, before the shit got hacked, I remember seeing some graphs and stuff. Yeah. um, yeah, the graphs are still up there. I don't know how hackable this is at the moment or how patched up shit is, but they managed to discover that it's running on vultr. And violation of fedramp, right? So y'all remember the email drama with Hillary Clinton back in like 2013? She got in a lot of trouble for running this email server out of her basement, and then all these emails got leaked, and that was a big deal. So I'm just, let's call for some logical consistency here, right? Because if that was a big deal then, all right, so the Democrats have a very strong bullet here, and they really need to carefully load into the chamber if they want to get the next shot off. Really get that shit fucking rolling forward. If they want to get fucking locked in the gear here, I'm saying this. You want to get that shot off. If Hillary Clinton's email servers were a big deal in 2013, why is it not a big deal that Donald Trump's DOGE is being hosted on a non-American vultr server? I believe it's actually, where did they say it's located? It's in Singapore. Yeah. Ooh. Donald Trump. If Hillary Clinton's email servers were a big deal in 2013, I need you to answer why it's not a big deal that Elon Musk's DOGE's website that has a .gov TLD, meaning it's a US.gov. Why is it being hosted in Singapore on third-party hosting? Like I said earlier, I did FedRAMP auditing. Like we were surveying the different cloud, the big cloud providers to figure out who was going to get the contract for actually being able to host. I mean, are you saying that vultr got a FedRAMP contract? I'm gonna look that shit up right now. Wow. Um. Okay, so it is not FedRAMP compliant yet. It's planned. But that means that at the moment, the Department of Government Efficiency's website is not being hosted on a FedRAMP compliant server. What is FedRAMP? For those who don't know, FedRAMP stands for Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program. It's a government program that helps federal agencies use secure cloud services. FedRAMP provides a standardized way to assess, authorize, and monitor cloud services. This is actually a Google AI overview, but it's pretty spot on in this case. Like if you go to fedramp.gov, it's an actual website for it. Securing cloud services for the federal government, the FedRAMP, Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program, provides a standardized approach to security authorization for cloud service offerings. So, like, as a security consultant doing that stuff, one of the things I did was basically penetration testing and reporting. So, given a particular, like, environment or application running in an environment, one of the things that we would do is do different pen tests and basically determine whether or not stuff, and generally speaking, stuff was never secure. You're always able to find shit. The application scope for what we were testing and what for most even basic fucking companies run nowadays is just so large, it's almost impossible not to find something. People don't limit scope. People forget ultimate first principles, and when they go out to roll stuff, they use prefab shit. You have large supply chains. You have inner working components. It's very hard to get anything done without fucking layers upon layers of authorization, even at like just paperwork level. So it's just really odd that they rush all of this shit out there, right? Like they're in such a rush to cut and chop stuff that they've made all of these mistakes along the way already. And so one can only ask, how many more mistakes are they making in the process itself? How many more mistakes are they going to make as a result of this rushed process? Which turns into not so much how much is Doge going to save us, right? But how much are they going to harm us? How much damage are they going to do? How much damage have they already done? I think it's certainly one thing for people to cry about, oh my God, we didn't vote for this. We certainly didn't. Or rather, while I think a lot of us are in favor of the actions being taken on one level, on another, shit ain't right. We got a fake gamer running a fake government department website, not even hosted on American servers. If Hillary's emails were a big deal, Why is this not a big deal? I could say this all night, so I don't really have anything else to say. Peace be with you.